días.
Good morning. Here in Tucson, the sky teaches us something every day. How sunrise opens the world with possibility, and how sunset closes it with color and grace. Together, they remind us change is constant, and each new day invites us to imagine something better. In my play, Sanctuary, inspired by the 1980 sanctuary movement ignited here in Tucson, much of it emerging from Southside Presbyterian Church, Jeff, a character based on Reverend John Fife, looks up at our Arizona sky and reflects on what it promises. He says, "You look up at that and see that you know tomorrow will be a new day with a magnificent end like that." That spirit, hopeful, grounded, forward-looking, has always lived in this community. And Carol, a character based on the unstoppable advocate Margot Cohen, speaks to what happens when a community moves with purpose. When the community comes together and throws everything into the pot, we make magic. That's right. That magic isn't mystical. It's made by people who care, who show up, who believe Tucson is strongest when we rise together. It is the magic of the sanctuary movement. It is the magic in our neighborhoods today. And like those before us, we meet this moment with the glowing light of a Sonoran sunrise. That this morning, this light guides us as we welcome our very newly inaugurated city council members and prepare to hear our mayor's State of Tucson address. It is an honor to share this morning with you as we look ahead together. It's okay, you can clap. Thank you. I know, I feel really formal. It's such a pleasure to be here on this great day and to introduce our mayor. We first started working with her. When I say we, I mean Borderlands Theater. Started working with her in 2016 when we did our first Barrio Stories. And in 2017, her office, which was Ward 1 at the time, joined us for a year of meeting with Barrio Anita residents and artists and city officials. And at the time, Ward 1, Mayor Regina Romero, listened to what the residents wanted. They wanted the Ori Park pool opened. And she was able to do that by the end of the year. By the time that we debuted Barrio Stories, she was able to reopen the pool for the residents. And it's a, yes, please, yes. It was a great achievement, and it spoke to the power of community working with city officials and artists coming together for a purpose, to celebrate our communities, to celebrate art, and to do what people want done, like having a pool that the neighborhood can enjoy. So, you know, it's great. I love that we have a mayor who is a great supporter of the artists, of art. Yes, of community enrichment and the environment. All things that make me really proud to be a Tucsonian. I am so grateful that I get to introduce the first Latina mayor, Mayor Regina Romero.
Buenos días, everyone. Good morning. ¿Cómo están? It's a happy day in Tucson. We just made history in welcoming 5 women to the council, the most we've ever had. We have 3 Latinas. When I first started, I was the first Latina ever elected to the council in 2007. And we have 2 amazingly queer colleagues on the council. I think it's one of the most diverse councils we've ever had. And I am so proud and happy to serve alongside my colleagues on the council. So muchísimas gracias. Thank you so much for being here to celebrate with us. I want to first acknowledge that we are standing on the lands that have been stewarded by the Tohono O'odham since time immemorial, and the Pascua Yaqui people who have lived in the Sonoran Desert for thousands of years. It is important to me that we ground ourselves by naming and acknowledging the histories of these lands. I am grateful to Chairman Jose of the Tohono O'odham Nation and Chairman Hernandez of the Pascua Yaqui tribe for being with us today and for your amazingly continued partnership. I am committed to the work we continue to do together to acknowledge the sovereignty of our Indigenous relatives and our collaboration into the future. I want to thank my husband, Ruben Reyes, the first dude of Tucson, and my children, Emiliano and Luciana, and my entire family. Thank you to my colleagues, council members Lane Santa Cruz, Paul Cunningham, Kevin Dahl, Nikki Lee, Roque Perez, and Karen Ulick. I'd also like to offer a warm welcome to our new council members, Selena Barajas and Miranda Schubert. I'd like to thank my team at the mayor's office, the city manager, Tim Tamir, the entire city of Tucson executive leadership team, and city staff. Working together, we make sure that all Tucsonans are well served. But the city of Tucson does not do this work alone. Together with my colleagues on the council and city staff, we work with public, private, and academic partners, and with regional, state, and federal governments. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all our elected officials here today and those that represent Tucson and Phoenix and in Washington, D.C., and members of their staff. Thank you. My vision for Tucson is of a safe, just, and sustainable city that provides economic opportunity for all Tucsonans. We have made significant progress over the past 6 years, but we still face tremendous challenges. An economy that too often works only for those at the top, a state legislature that ignores our public schools and increasingly takes the burden away from big corporations, placing it at the feet of cities, workers, and their families. And a president who is making life more unaffordable, working for working families by cutting access to healthcare, to SNAP benefits, to resources for housing, the very things that help people live healthy and good quality lives. But in Tucson, voters doubled down on progressive, forward-thinking policies. They doubled down on creating affordable housing and affordability for workers, on free and reliable transit and investments in mobility, on investment in climate resiliency and securing a safe, clean water supply, investments in our parks and neighborhoods, and low barrier shelter with wraparound services. These are all policies that mayor and council have been creating for the past 6 years. Tucson, yes, Tucson has a richness of talent, natural beauty, and heritage that makes us the unique place we call home. Only together can we continue to build a community that strengthens neighborhoods, combats climate change, invests in our students, improves our infrastructure, and builds a stronger, more resilient economy that benefits all of us. As your mayor, I continue to take bold action, changing the systems that have led to historic disinvestment and inequities that were decades in the making. Working alongside my colleagues on the council, our city manager, and our executive leadership team, community and jurisdictional partners, we have identified the gaps in services and are filling those gaps with concrete solutions that have never existed before in the city of Tucson. Through our Safe City initiative, we are committing to a holistic and focused approach to delivering safety to our residents. We can and must continue to offer compassionate care and hold those committing crime in our city accountable. Our Safe City initiative is an umbrella that holds all of the innovative services we have been providing to Tucsonans for the last 6 years and adds new solutions through innovation, collaboration, and the smart use of our resources. In my open letter to Tucsonans, I spoke to the urgency of this moment. I shared how the city created and is expanding our Safe City deployments and the direction my colleagues on the council and I gave to make sure that opioid settlement funds are used for a safer center pilot, which will create a sobering alternative facility for recovery, a diversion program that moves people into treatment instead of jail. I also shared that we requested a transit safety and security plan we intend to put into action immediately. Mayor and council looks forward to our work with Pima County, South Tucson, and Marana to direct opioid settlement investments to fund real, tangible solutions for the public health crisis of fentanyl and opioid addiction on our streets. We need to use opioid settlement funds to create the detox and treatment services we need, because we all know incarceration is not the goal. Treatment and recovery is. We acknowledge that more work needs to be done. More treatment for mental and behavioral health, more treatment to help people fight drug addiction, and more focus on getting illegal guns off our streets. We will strengthen our focus on intervention and treatment and on addressing the root causes of generational poverty through enacting the policies in our Prosperity Initiative. We have expanded our housing navigation, our street outreach, care coordination, and crisis response teams. We've deepened our commitment to keeping our residents safe while preserving the dignity and rights of our unsheltered neighbors. We've invested in community safety, health, and wellness by hiring 4 amazing leaders. Brandy Champion as our program director, Allison Chappelle as our Housing First Program Director, Jason Hamilton as our Multi-Agency Resource Manager, and our newest addition and newest hire, Oscar Medina, our Violence Prevention and Intervention Manager. We've invested in responsive services like adding day trucks to our fire department, bringing video alternatives to jail, and more Safe City deployments, and expanded our community courts. We have the goal of adding 50 additional commissioned police officers within the next year alone. I want to thank all of our City Tucson employees, police officers, firefighters, care coordinators, outreach workers, Pima County employees, everyone who is helping to keep our city safe. They do amazing and incredible work. Another way we are working to create safety and prosperity in our community is to continue to accelerate housing production, streamline approvals, and support the construction of thousands of new homes across every income level in our city. There are two main focal points as we work to build affordability in Tucson: more accessible, affordable housing, and more economic opportunity and workforce training, especially for our working families and young people here in Tucson. From apartments to duplexes to casitas to affordable home ownership, mayor and council are creating more housing opportunities at a time when we need it most, while protecting our unique neighborhoods here in Tucson. We made meaningful investments in expanding our low barrier shelter and transitional housing, especially for people experiencing homelessness. In the past year, our Housing First emergency shelters, street outreach workers, and permanent supportive housing resources have served over 2,000 people that needed a safe place to call home. That's really something to celebrate. And while there'll always be more to do, we must appreciate the work being done to serve the people who need the most help. We are just 6 weeks into our Star Village Safe Sleeping Site, which is providing housing and wraparound services to women in partnership with Primavera Foundation and O Pueblo Community Services. More than 40 individuals have been served. 2 have completed the program and moved on to more permanent housing. Others are still working on their goals. I want to thank and give my deep appreciation to Tisha Tallman and the Primavera Foundation staff, and Tom Lidwicki and the OPCS staff for working with us on this important pilot project. Thank you. Working together to identify new ways of providing care is key to fighting homelessness. I want to appreciate all of the nonprofits, community groups, food providers, and jurisdictions that are helping to create the social safety net for our most vulnerable Tucsonans. Creating affordability is a cornerstone of our work. In 2025, we opened developments like Milagro on Oracle, an affordable housing development providing 63 units for seniors. We opened the Amazon Hotel, which provides permanent supportive housing for people experiencing homelessness in 30 refurbished studio apartments. Here, they will receive supportive services until they are ready to transition to independent living. Also in 2025, the city broke ground on Sugar Hill on Stone Apartments, which will bring 108 bedrooms in 66 affordable units to this neighborhood in late 2026. Projects like these create hundreds of good-paying jobs for Tucsonans. These projects are excellent examples of the partnerships and skillful layering of funding from multiple sources working together for the benefit of Tucsonans. The housing affordability strategy for Tucson, combined with a community corridor tool we passed in 2025, encourages and incentivizes private housing development. As mayor, I will continue to use all of the tools at our disposal and push to create the ones we need to address the housing crisis in front of us. Amazon Flats, the first development to use the community corridor tool, will bring an additional 59 one-bedroom affordable housing units. Without the CCT, only 30 units would have been allowed, and the rest of the property would have remained a parking lot. We are looking forward to the creativity and innovation of our local developers who should take advantage of this tool. This will help us reuse and encourage activation of vacant buildings throughout our city. This year, in the Mayor and Council state legislative agenda, we are asking the state legislature to introduce rent stabilization, more support for affordable home ownership, additional funding for the Housing Trust Fund, and for additional low-income housing tax credit projects, so that our very own nonprofit, El Pueblo Housing Development, is an even bigger part of Tucson's housing solution. We are creating an additional 1,200 units of housing through our development arm, which I'm so excited about. I'm also excited to share that by the end of 2025, we will close on the Tucson House, bringing 400 affordable refurbished units to Tucson. This project is a mix of low-income housing tax credits, gap funding from Pima County, city and historical tax credits, and $30 million from the Federal Choice Neighborhood Grant we competed for successfully in 2023. Beyond housing, mayor and council have always worked on creating affordability to control costs for residents. We have helped low-income families pay for our water utilities and stopped water shutoffs when necessary. We work to bring direct funding to stabilize the cost of electricity for low-income households with our solar panel installation program. Transit continues to be free, which saves the average family 30% of monthly expenses on transportation. Our transit system continues to fuel our local economy with ridership on the streetcar and our buses at all-time highs. The mayor and council is also investing in neighborhoods, specifically our Thrive Zones, the 4 sites being served through our Violence Intervention and Vitalization Action, or VIVA, through investments in sidewalks, street repaving, tree planting, cleanup efforts, and additional investments in parks and care coordinators in apartments and schools. These types of investments in our neighborhoods create safety, opportunity, and affordability. Today in Tucson, we are feeling the very real impacts of federal policies. We are feeling the economic effects of on-again, off-again tariffs, of people being thrown off of their healthcare and food benefits, of the fear people have for being brown or having an accent or speaking Spanish, or fear of where they work. We need to stand together in this fight for affordability, for opportunity, for our neighbors, for our public schools, for public lands, for jobs, for real security for our neighbors. I want to be very clear. I will never stop fighting for the rights, the dignity, the safety of everyone in our community. We must stand united as Tucsonans know how to do. We are a welcoming community that has always worked to take care of each other, no matter our status. And as long as I am mayor, we will remain a welcoming community. Creating good-paying jobs and building a strong economy is central to a safe, healthy, and resilient city. That is why we have strengthened our small businesses and supported entrepreneurs, the heartbeat of Tucson's economy, through grants, technical assistance, and partnerships that help our local entrepreneurs compete, grow, and succeed. In 2025, our small business navigators provided approximately 350 hours of technical assistance to local small businesses, conducted 2,000 hours of training and counseling, and business accelerator programs resulting in approximately $3 million in capital expansion for locally owned and operated businesses. We are thrilled that in 2025, the Tucson Small Business Center opened and is serving local businesses every single day. This important collaboration between the City of Tucson, Groundswell Capital, and the Tucson Industrial Development Authority is bringing needed support to business owners in these difficult economic times. This past year, we kicked off the Boots to Business Reboot, which offers entrepreneurship training to veterans and their spouses. Right here in Tucson, we know supporting our veterans and their transition out of the military is good for all of us and supports our local economy. Every great city has a great transportation system that provides multiple modes of safe and accessible transportation to all residents, whether you make your daily commute by foot, bike, bus, or car. That is why I believe that the RTA Next is an important step in transportation funding. We need to continue investing in ourselves and in our future. Passing the RTA Next in March is crucial to the possibility of keeping a safe, free public transit system and lowering response times for our first responders, as well as increasing road safety. Significant improvements were made to the original RTA Next plan through community input and advocacy by this mayor and council. We requested additional citizen oversight and added language to make sure the contractors we work with are responsible and provide proper classification and a safe work environment for our workers. We added funds for pavement preservation, $140 million for arterial and collector roads, $40 million for the operation of our streetcar, $51 million in transit safety and security, and $726 million to transit regionally. It also includes funding for Tucson's Bus Rapid Transit, which is a high-capacity next step to our transit infrastructure. Bus rapid transit systems are cost-effective, sustainable, and take advantage of existing road infrastructure while bringing similar economic benefits as the streetcar. In its first 10 years, the Sunlink streetcar has proven its economic benefit to Tucson. Despite the fears people had initially about housing costs or local business displacement, over the past 10 years, the 3.9-mile route has served more than 10 million riders, created over 1,200 construction jobs. It added the development of more than 1,500 new housing units, the opening of more than 50 new local restaurants and small businesses, and more than $4 billion in private investment. I have always believed that investing in infrastructure and public infrastructure, it leverages private investment. Through Norte Sur, we are planning affordable housing ahead of the Bus Rapid Transit selected route. Voter-approved Proposition 411 is delivering tangible results to Tucson neighborhoods across every ward in our city. So far, 109 neighborhood projects have been completed with 373 miles of roads completed. That means 27% of the Proposition 411 investments are complete, and another 931 miles are being planned. As Tucsonans, we need to say yes to investing in ourselves. And I believe that the RTA Next is a good investment for Tucson. RTA Next will create approximately 50,000 new jobs and generate over $11.9 billion in economic benefits in our region. And speaking of economic impact that is uniquely ours, Tucson's creative economy contributes over $8.4 billion locally, which includes about $431 million in cultural tourism and the creation of over 52,000 jobs. Our culture and heritage is what makes us so unique. We are celebrating our 250th year plus of the establishment of the city of Tucson. From the, yes, 250 years, that's a lot, plus all of the history of the Tohono O'odham and Pascua Yaqui people here. From the stories and stewardship of the Tohono O'odham and the Pascua Yaqui people to the historic barrios and the beautiful Sonoran Desert that define our identity, to our arts and music community, amazing murals, delicious food, festivals that attract our residents and visitors, from mariachi lovers to cyclists, to people enjoying our astral trails, to writers and readers of books. Tucson truly has something for all of us. This is something we can all say yes to. This year, I was invited to participate in the Bloomberg Harvard City Leadership Initiative. Our key priority is economic development that is informed by Tucsonans. Our team will focus on developing cohesive, focused economic development strategies in business attraction, international trade, and small business. We will focus on our creative economy, sports tourism, developing our place in our mega region, stewarding our natural resources, and expanding our green economy, space research, bioscience, manufacturing, and creating the good jobs we want here in Tucson. As these efforts expand over the next months, I look forward to thinking through how we want to build wealth, expand economic opportunity, reduce poverty, create jobs, invest in our neighborhoods, and create the best quality of life for all of us. Moving forward into 2026, with our new council, we will continue to have a laser focus on building affordability, creating economic opportunity, investing in our roads, and deepening equity for all of us. We need to continue to lock arms, move forward together, invest in ourselves, and have the necessary conversations about how we do so when we don't have the support of the federal government or our state legislature. In Tucson, we choose community over chaos. We choose compassion over fear. And we choose opportunity over scarcity. Working together, we will make smart investments in ourselves to build a safe, resilient Tucson with economic opportunity for all. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you so much for joining us. And this council session is adjourned.